Welcome back. You are cooking with Sheila and
Mikita
in the Gangsta Goodies kitchen, y'all. One of the things I love the most about the Gangsta Goodies kitchen is I get to meet the most fabulous people in the city, y'all. It is such a treat. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely, me too. This is getting warm, and we're going to get this started, y'all. So take a look at today's ingredients. We've got today's ingredients include scallops, a little heavy cream, some fresh lemon, a little spice blend I mixed up, a little butter, some chopped garlic, and a little chicken broth, y'all. Okay, so this is getting hot. One of the keys to scallops is that you cook them the skillet has to be really hot.
Okay.
And you cook them about 3 minutes on each side.
Okay.
And then they're done.
That sounds easy.
It's real easy.
It needs to be easy.
Right. Yes.
I don't cook.
Okay, so you don't cook at all?
I mean, no.
Okay.
I bake.
You bake?
I bake.
Okay.
I don't cook.
Okay.
I was married to a chef.
Nice.
I tried to keep the food in the divorce agreement.
It didn't work?
It didn't quite work out. So we're gonna learn how to make scallops.
Yes. So then you can teach me how to bake something, because that's something I don't do is bake.
Okay, yes.
I don't bake anything.
Really?
Okay. Nope. So I think these are going to be, this should be hot enough. I'm going to put one down here. And so you guys, when you, now these were frozen. I normally don't buy them frozen, but they were out. Okay, so I got a bag of frozen ones. I put them in a bowl and put just a little bit of cold water in them for about 15 minutes. Then immediately get them out of that water, because you don't want them to get waterlogged. Okay. Then you pat them dry with a paper towel. Okay? Yes! It's sizzling! That's what it's supposed to do. And I used a big cast iron skillet so that I would have room.
Okay.
So they wouldn't be all crowded in there. Some of them might still be a little wet on the bottom, yeah. See that sizzle? That means it's a little water in there. That's flatter, not necessarily.
Smells good already.
We're going to put a little seasoning on here. What y'all eating today? So what's your favorite dish?
I love a good pasta.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Just because you can do so much with it. And I have one child who's partial vegetarian, so I'm able to accommodate her. So we got run the gamut with the 3 kids.
I love it.
They can get what they need.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of this little seasoning mix I made up. So you guys, the seasoning mix has a little bit of Old Bay in there. Okay. I put a little bit of crushed red bell peppers and some thyme, some fresh thyme out of the garden outside. I love fresh herbs. Okay. So, Nikita, tell Kansas City, are you from Kansas City?
I am. I was born in St. Louis, but I've lived on the Kansas side of Kansas City my whole life.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm a Kansas girl.
Okay. And what high school did you go to? You know, in Kansas City, everybody want to know, what high school did you go to?
Right, and then they're like, oh, I've never heard of that.
Right.
I went to a private high school called Maranatha Academy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I have a cousin who went there, so that's the only reason I,
right.
you know.
Like, where's that? What is that? So, yeah.
And I remember it being up north, kind of.
Yes, and now it's out in Shawnee. Yeah, still there.
Awesome. And so, oh yes, those are gonna be nice. They're getting that little crusty. You want your scallops to get that little crustiness on the bottom of it, so you don't move them.
Don't move them.
So they cook 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm gonna let you guys see what that looks like when I get ready to flip it, so you can see what the coloring should look like. Okay. Do you like scallops?
I do. I like seafood.
Nice. So what you drinking over there?
I am drinking sangria.
Yes.
It's delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Can't cook brunch without sangrias or mimosas.
Yes, so
something
good.
light.
Yes.
That is yummy.
Right? It is good.
I put a little bit of that Uncle Nearest whiskey in there.
Okay, there we go. That's the secret.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that watermelon puree.
Right. Little whiskey, little watermelon.
Yes.
You can't really go wrong.
You cannot. Whiskey and watermelon is perfect. So, are you familiar with who Uncle Nearest is?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Uncle Nearest was.
Okay.
So, Uncle Nearest was the slave who taught Jack Daniels how to distill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, when we say that, we also go back and say that Jack Daniels did not own slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that wasn't how that relationship came about.
Okay.
And we would know who Uncle Nearest is if Jack Daniels hadn't have mentioned him over 50 times in his memoirs.
Wow.
Okay? So, yeah, it's a really cool story. You'll have to go on YouTube and check it out.
Definitely.
I love their products, and its history. It's, how many of us have ancestors like Uncle Nearest, those untold stories that we have no idea.
Right, that's a good bit of history.
It
Let's do a
is.
little research.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Yum.
Look at those scallops, y'all. Yummy, yum. Look at that. So we're going to take these out.
Okay.
And then we're going to make like a little cream sauce, a little garlic, butter cream sauce. Okay.
Good.
And that is what's going to go on top of it's going to all sit here together, so it'll make like a little sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put the grits down, the braised collard greens. Yes, and then we'll put the scallops on top.
Okay.
Yes.
Sauce, I'm excited.
Yes. Oh my God, those look great.
They really do.
They look fabulous. Yummy. Y'all.
This looks good. Who knew?
Who knew? Yes. How quick and easy, right? I'm just going to sit those there for a minute. Then we're going to get this sauce going. So in the same skillet, we are going to add a little butter. Sometimes I divide, put a little bit of the butter in first, and then when it's the sauce is kind of done, put a little more in, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put it all in. Okay. So we got some butter in there melting, and then we're going to take, this is about 4 cloves of garlic. Okay. And it's fresh garlic, and we're just going to put that down in there. And we have to be sometimes really careful with garlic, because fresh garlic in particular, because it'll burn.
Okay.
And butter will burn too. So that's why I turned it down a little bit, because we do not want because this is the base for the sauce.
Okay.
Taking some of that same seasoning mix, and I'm going to put a little here. And of course that's going to help to flavor it. Yes. Starting to sizzle a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Smells good.
Yes. So now I'm adding a cup of heavy cream.
Okay.
And we're just gonna mix that in there.
Oh, it smells so good, y'all.
And then I'm gonna let them see kind of what that cream is gonna look like.
Okay.
Once we get the scallops back in there. Okay, y'all, so this is what it looks like in the pan with the creamy garlicky sauce. Oh my goodness, look at that. So now I'm gonna add just a little bit. This is about 1/4 of a cup of chicken broth.
Okay.
Add that in there.
Delicious.
We're gonna squeeze some fresh lemon in there. And we're gonna let that reduce, let the liquid reduce a little bit. So, we're gonna put this, and so we'll be right back, y'all. So y'all, we get ready to taste, but we're talking about dating over 40. So I just celebrated my 52nd birthday.
Okay, I will be 44 next month.
Okay, yeah, awesome. That dating game is like...
That's terrible.
And it don't have to be. Men, can y'all just be honest? Just be honest.
Just be honest.
Yes.
You could be honest and still get what you want.
Exactly.
You can tell the truth and still get what you want. I promise. There's no reason to lie.
Good. Okay, so get you some.
Okay.
There you go. You have to tell me how you like it. So y'all take a look at this dish. So here we have scallops, braised collard greens on top of Gouda cheese grits in a garlic butter sauce.
It smells so good. So good.
Let's see. And I love collard greens.
Mm-hmm.
They are like my all-time favorite. They were my mom's favorite too.
Okay.
Yes. So this one time, this one guy, older gentleman, we exchanged numbers, and I'm assuming that if you're exchanging numbers with a lady that you're not married or in a relationship.
Child, no.
Okay.
Girl, no.
Oh my goodness.
This is good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay. Now, we say when stuff is good in the Gangster Goodies kitchen, if it's really good, that it's fire.
Oh, yeah, it's fire. For sure. See? These grits are good.
Oh my God, and them collard greens with that? Yummy. I did cut up a little bit of prosciutto ham and put in there with the olive oil, and I used a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter in the saucepan with the greens, onions, red bell peppers, fresh garlic.
So back to your story.
Okay, yes. So dating over 40, y'all. Okay. So find out that he's married after several conversations. I said, wait a minute. So how are you trying to engage with me?
Right.
Well, I said, I'll tell you what we do. I said, I'll invite you and your wife over for dinner. I'll cook y'all a lovely dinner, and then we'll have that conversation, the three of us.
Right.
And if she's game for it,
right,
then, because who's not? I ain't sneaking around.
I am too old to be.
Who does that?
Hiding.
Right
now.
We're
not
doing
this. We just
gonna do it. So when I see her friends out, because I live kind of out loud.
Right.
And so
right.
her family ain't gonna be like, that hoe? And I'm like, no, see, we got an arrangement.
Right.
And we're all consenting adults.
Right.
So, hey. And he's like, what? I said, yeah. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Just as you approaching me and you're married. Right. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But on the flip side of that, some women are down for it. So if that's the kind of life you live, then here, let's like you said, let's be out loud about your stuff. Like if we're pimp for real, then we're gonna be a pimp for real. Right. Whatever you're doing, we're gonna be out loud about this. So I don't get the lying part at all. It's like, yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing her, and her. So you can either roll with me or move on. Like it's simple. It could all be so simple.
Oh my God. Man, just tell the truth.
Just tell the truth. There will be somebody down with whatever you're into, somebody else is into it. I guarantee you.
Yes.
I guarantee you.
Because I don't know if men recognize, and let me say, I know women probably do this too, but we're talking about, we're both women, heterosexual women, so we're talking about dating. That means we're talking about men. So we don't want men to think, because we know women out there do interesting things too. Okay. Sure. But it doesn't apply right here. Okay.
Right here, right now. We're talking about y'all.
Right.
This is not about us.
Right.
Y'all.
Just tell the truth.
Right.
Because what you're doing is when you're dishonest with us, you're taking away our right to choose.
Right.
To make our own decision.
Yes.
But if you're honest, then I can go, okay, I can weigh the cons and pros and be like, well, you know, I ain't got to see him but once a week.
Right. And that's, so my last relationship, that's what I said. I was like, if you tell me everything, that like lay it all on the table, it's my choice if I want to be the side chick. Mm-hmm. It's my choice if I want to deal with you and all your other chicks. Mm-hmm. That would be my choice. Mm-hmm. But you lying, that's where people get hurt. And I think that's the part where men don't quite understand. That's where people get hurt because they think this is a one-on-one relationship when really it's a 1-on-5 relationship. And so that's where people start to get hurt. But if I know that from jump, then that was my choice to go with the crazy.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. The other thing is the health risk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I said to old dude. I said, don't you think your wife have a right to know who you trying to swap bodily fluids with?
Right.
Don't you think I have a right to know?
Right.
What the hell?
I mean, and there's a lot going around, including Corona. Mm-hmm. And then how do you explain that to your wife? Like, she doesn't have Corona. Where did you get that?
Where did that Corona come from?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah.
You know, I don't know this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the solution?
I
know there are honest men out there.
Are there?
They are. They're out there.
So from what I've found is that the honesty comes in a younger package. So
really?
yeah, I've always dated older. That's just kind of been my go-to. My ex-husband was 15 years older than me. That's just kind of been my thing. Mm-hmm. But so lately, been picking up a 29-year-old or two.
And they're more honest.
They're honest. So I think maybe it's the new generation. They're just like, listen, this is what I'm doing.
Like it or not.
Right. You can either roll with it or not. And so that's an interesting thing. Not that I think I can go in that direction. 29's a little young,
yes.
But
Yes.
That's fine. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm flattered. I'm still hot enough to pull a 29-year-old.
Absolutely, yes.
But,
you are hot, for sure.
But it's like, you are 8 years older than my kid. Like,
I know.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have older adult children,
yes,
it makes a huge difference.
It does. Mm-hmm. It really does. I have help yourself because I'm gonna get me another bite too.
Thank you.
It seems like younger men, and I'm like, honey, I have a daughter about your age.
Yes.
One of them. You're in between here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I have kids.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just, I can't do it. Mm-mm. Yes, oh my God! Yes. I'm glad I've been wanting to experiment with this, so I'm glad I did. And
Me too.
And I'm glad you were open to let me experiment.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. And I've been craving some greens. I've been trying to get my oldest daughter to make me some, but I want her to make them like my mother made them, and she makes them. I mean, she makes them exactly how my mother used to make them. Yeah, I can't make. I'm not. My greens aren't good like that. Mm-hmm. They're good, but not like that format.
Right. Yeah. Now that I know how to make scallops. Add that to the menu.
Yes, the grits are easy, I didn't put a whole lot of seasoning in the grits. Actually, I didn't put any. I used chicken broth instead of water.
Okay.
And a little bit of butter. And that's it.
Okay.
Because I knew the collard greens would have a lot of flavor in them, so I didn't want to, want them to be really competing. Put that smoked Gouda in them grits. Yummy,
That's
y'all.
really good. That's really good, y'all. With a little sangria. I mean, this is a perfect brunch.
I'm such a brunch girl. That's one of the things I miss the most about this Corona stuff.
Yeah,
and I have gone out, but
it's not quite the same.
It's not.
Not quite the same.
I probably went to brunch every week.
Yeah.
Then I had this young lady used to do this program called Give and Partake brunch book. And so you could go, the participating locally owned restaurants, you could go, and then you could take your friend with you, and it's half off. You buy a brunch item, you get the next brunch entree half off.
Oh, that's
or in some restaurants it was free.
Okay. Yeah.
So then all you paying for is one meal, you and your sister friend,
right.
and bottomless mimosas.
Oh,
or sangrias. Yes.
That's even better.
Yes. Definitely. So, Mikita, tell Kansas City about, it's like your social media on Instagram, it says all things Mikita.
Yeah.
So tell us what that means.
So I rebranded. So when I first started blogging, I was an old school mommy blogger, like one of those original mommy bloggers, and my kids are 10, 15, and 21 now. And so I started when the middle one, when I was actually pregnant with her. So 15 years ago, and I was never home, stay-at-home mom. And so the kids got older, so I wasn't staying at home. I also got a divorce, so I wasn't staying at home. Needed a whole job. And so I needed to rebrand. And actually, I credit Nick Vassos from Channel 4, who's like, your name is so unique. You need to brand your name. What are you doing? And so that is where that came. And so I tried to include everything that is me, because I teach yoga, I run social media, I am a mom, I do all of those things. And so it was just, it's all things Mikita. So that's where the name came from. It's like, she does all of these things, and they're all me. So
I love it. That is awesome. I'm telling y'all, the black girl magic is all over here. I love it. So we talked a little bit about social media, and so because we're going to need someone, and so we'll be, somebody who's smarter than me in that area, because that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Is as you building your team, you get people on your team that are smarter than you in those specific areas.
Right.
So
that can help you win. That's what I always say. It's like you want. Either you're going to do it yourself, or you're going to pay somebody to do it. And you want somebody who can help you win.
Absolutely. So, yes, we're all about winning over here.
Look, for sure.
Cheers to winning.
Cheers to winning. For sure.
Yes.
So social media is one of those I tell everybody that I either work with or just kind of give information to. It's like, it's a free platform. There's no reason for you not to use it to make money, to sell, to build, to do whatever you're doing. It's free. So it's not like the olden days where you had to buy commercial airtime, you had to buy radio airtime.
Right.
It's free. You can connect. Like, some of my biggest followers are in Australia. There's no way I could have reached anyone in Australia without social media.
Exactly.
So, it's one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you want to use it to your advantage.
Yes. I always ask all of our guests to share a food story. So whether that's something when you were growing up, because we do this because we think the kitchen is a unique place. For bonding and connecting and sharing stories and information and resources. And so that's why we do it. And so I ask people to share one of those stories. Like for me, I learned how to play jacks on the kitchen floor while my mother cooked.
Okay.
And so, cooking was one of my mother's, and sharing with us in that way was an expression of love for her. It was an expression of care and all that kind of stuff. And so, so if you have it, and it doesn't have to be anything when you were growing up. It could be that you've done with your own kids.
It's definitely growing up. So my most fond, or my memories of being in the kitchen, are from my grandmother, from my nana actually.
Okay.
And she would make breakfast rice. So she would make rice with butter and sugar, and people say, salt and pepper, and then there's the butter and sugar. I'm like, rice should always have butter and sugar. What are you even talking about? So she would make the best breakfast rice, because there were a bunch of us. We would spend summers at Nana's house. Breakfast rice, and then she would also give us coffee, which mainly was milk and sugar.
Yes.
But I am a full-on coffee addict. I mean,
Are you?
Yes, let's see. What time is it? I've probably had 3 cups today already.
Really?
Yes, I am a full-on coffee addict.
Okay.
And so all of those memories tied to my grandmother. And I'm like, I am convinced she's the reason I'm addicted to coffee. I mean, and it was mostly milk and sugar. I mean, just as pale and white, but still. So anytime there's rice, when I see people like, it should have butter and salt and pepper, I'm like, it should absolutely have sugar.
That's not how my Nana cooked it.
Right? Rice should absolutely have sugar, and there should always be coffee. Always coffee. And so that's one of my most fond memories. And none of us, all of the girl cousins, we have all tried to make rice, and it does not happen. It's like, this does not taste the same. This isn't it.
It's an art. I really say that. I have a rice cooker.
Yes.
Because every single time I try to make rice on my own, and I understand that it's the water rice ratio. I get that, and I can measure.
Right.
But if I cook it on top of the stove, but I put it in that rice cooker, that rice turns out nice and fluffy every single time.
It is such an art, and none of us have ever been able to do it on the stovetop. It's like, well, we tried. It's like, and my girl cousins will say, that is not Nana rice. Like, whatever you do right there, that's not it. That's not it. So yeah, coffee and rice.
I love it. Yeah. Now, Mikita, how could, if there's anyone out there listening who needs help with social media, how would they contact you?
So I'm all things Mikita across all social platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. My email is the same. Hello at allthingsmakita.
Okay.
Allthingsmakita.com. That's kind of my. So you can find me anywhere.
Okay.
Awesome. Messages.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to share?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. Okay. I think we covered it all.
Including dating.
Right. Including the fact that I'm single. So minor details.
Yes. Me too.
Right.
It's like, I had a friend tell me years ago, a guy friend, and I must have been about 35. And he said, the more years a woman gets over 35, the least likely she is to remarry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boy, get out of here. Don't be telling me that.
I believe that to be true. And what I found is that women, we tend to get more successful. We learn a new hobby, we take a class, we start a new business, we do all of those things, we get more successful. So we are moving way ahead, and they're still doing what they're doing. And so we're over here, and it's like, I say all the time, get on my train or get off my track. And it's one or the other.
I love that. Y'all hear that? Get on my train.
Right.
Or get off my track.
Right.
I love it. Yeah. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope you enjoyed your time.
I did.
And y'all, yoga.
Yes, yoga on the vine, Saturday and Sunday at 9:30. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna need y'all goddesses to come join me because it's been about 3 years since I've had yoga, okay? But I know my body needs it, and I'm sure yours could benefit from it too. So peace out, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.